As you may have heard, Capcom has plans of releasing 2 major games by the end of this year. We can assume that Mega Man 11 is one of them, but what is the other game? That's what I want to talk about today. So before I get to the mystery game that we're not really sure about right now, I want to talk about Mega Man 11. Yes, this is a well-known franchise, pretty big deal to a lot of people, probably going to sell pretty good, especially if it's critically praised. But I'm wondering, is this one of their major releases? Could they be talking about maybe a game that we haven't heard of yet, so then maybe there's 2 games that we don't know about that they plan on releasing by the end of this year? I mean, don't get me wrong, Mega Man 11 is definitely a big deal. I still can't believe that it's actually coming. But is this the major release that they're talking about? Typically, whenever people are talking about major releases, they're talking about a AAA budget, a huge game like something like Resident Evil 7 or Monster Hunter World. So maybe there is still, in fact, 2 big games to come. But for today, let's assume that they're talking about Mega Man 11, because he deserves it. You know, Mega Man's been out of the game for a long time. He needs to come back swinging. This needs to be one of their huge releases. And I hope they market it a lot, and I hope they actually push this franchise, because I know there's a lot of people out there who want Mega Man to stay. On to the next game. What is this mystery title? What I hope it is, and what I'm praying that it is the Resident Evil 2 Remake. We heard about this game way back. A lot of people's dreams came true when they finally announced that the Resident Evil 2 Remake was a thing. To what extent, we don't know. Is this going to be a full-blown remake? Is it going to be just a remaster? Is it just going to be graphically better? I personally hope that it keeps the iconic fixed camera angles, but allows you to shoot from behind the shoulder, more like Resident Evil 4, whenever there's enemies in front of you. But if they went full-blown fixed camera angles, I really wouldn't mind. I think a lot of people, they would get that nostalgia factor out of it, so they would probably go pick up the game, especially if it's really graphically demanding. If they really take advantage of the latest hardware that's out there and give us a full-blown Resident Evil 2 remake, that I think will get a lot of people excited. There have been a bunch of rumors surrounding the game ever since it got announced, but nothing officially from Capcom, just a bunch of rumors, and pretty much saying that they're changing the game a whole bunch, that there's going to be a separate ways with Claire and Leon, maybe Ada, I can't remember. I'm a big fan of that. I love the whole separate ways thing in Resident Evil 4, and I would just want to add Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's absolutely amazing. As I was saying, we don't really know what extent this is going to be. Is it just going to be a fresh coat of paint over the old game's mechanics? Is it going to be a full-blown third-person game, or maybe it'll even take the route of Resident Evil 7? They just created that whole engine and whatnot for Resident Evil 7, so I can't imagine they'll already throw it away. I think either Resident Evil 8 or this Resident Evil 2 remake just might be in first person, which would make me really sad, because you just don't get the same out of it. You don't get to see the characters, and a huge part of what makes Resident Evil so awesome is its characters, and how funny they are, and how iconic they are. But yeah, the internet has been going crazy. Capcom completely ignored the Resident Evil 2 anniversary earlier this year. I believe it was the 20-year anniversary. That should have been a huge deal, and they completely just glossed over it, didn't talk about it. They haven't given us any information. We've gotten like some info from like the old director of Resident Evil 2 talking about the new game and how that director is doing a good job. But when it comes to concrete information, we haven't gotten anything from Capcom, which is pretty freaking crazy. So Capcom, please make this E3 blow our minds. Make this once again an awesome year for Resident Evil. Resident Evil 7 was awesome. This could be a great year for Resident Evil fans, and also a great year for Mega Man fans. I'm really happy that that franchise is finally coming back. But before I go, I do want to mention that many have suggested that the game that Capcom was talking about was the recently released Monster Hunter game for the Switch, which is basically a 3DS port of a game with a bunch of extra content. It looks way better. It doesn't really look like a 3DS game anymore. Still really exciting. Happy for the Switch. Happy for Monster Hunter fans. It's not really my series, but Monster Hunter just sort of blew up in the West thanks to Monster Hunter Worlds. So with the Switch, with this game, I think it's going to sell really good. Because of all the brand new fans from last year, I think the game's going to do really well. But I don't think it's the game that Capcom is talking about when they say they have 2 major releases. I think it's probably Mega Man 11 and something else. And maybe not even Mega Man 11, but like I said, I want to talk to you guys. Be down in the comment section below. Let's talk Resident Evil, one of my favorite franchises of all time. Hello, Cat. That's all I got to say. I'll talk to you guys later.
Wife is number 1, but she's also kinda delicate. Keeps her on top, kinda hard to operate. And I don't care, cause my platinum number's 48. 25 years old, really like the roots still.